overall for you both of your thoughts on tonight's matchup. Neely, you can go first.
Um, yeah, obviously we didn't get the result or played the way we wanted to. I think the first half we had some good moments and we didn't capitalize. But we can't play how we did the second half and expect to win. But we just move forward from here and keep building.
Any other thoughts, Jess?
Pretty much what Neely said. I think that not really sure what happened at halftime for us to kind of go out in the second half the way that we did. I think we lost pretty much every duel, every first, second, third ball, which isn't something that we do here at Gotham. So there are a lot of things that happened in the second half that went to our standards. So like Neely said, we just got to regroup and reset, recover as quick as possible, and go again in a few days.
All right, we'll get things started with Jenna.
Thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time. I wanted to ask, obviously, with the injuries of Mandy and Tierna being out, I know you've had to shift things around on the back line, have, Neely come in and play it right back. And it was very similar to what you guys did against Angel City. So I'm just curious from your perspectives, kind of what was different tonight and kind of, especially in that second half, what you found more difficult and if the injuries are playing a part in this at all.
I think that, of course, yeah, we don't have the same depth that we normally do, but the squad that we have available with us is more than good enough to go and win games. And I think we showed that in the first half. I think we controlled most of the first half. So I think that second half was, to be honest, is a bit of a blur. Like some of the goals we conceded were from ricochets and not clearing our lines, like myself included. It was from, I feel like a lot of mistakes rather than being broken down as such. So, I mean, I think in terms of our squad, I think that we were more than capable of going and getting a win today with the personnel that we had. I think we just didn't hold ourselves to the highest standard in the second half, and that showed.
All right, thank you, Jenna. We'll go to Luis.
Luis Rodrigo from the De La Línea podcast. This question is for both of you. What do you think the team need improve for the next game in a few days versus Washington Spirit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we proved against LA that we can play the way we want to play, and we just can't drop our standards in this league. Any team can win on any given day. And in the second half, we dropped our standards. We didn't play or show up how we say we want to play, or how we want to be structured defensively. So we just can't drop our standards in the next game. And like Jess said, we trust every person on this squad to get it done. And, we just keep moving from here.
Okay, Jason.
Hi, thanks to you both for speaking with us. I wanted to ask about maybe after halftime, it seemed like Portland was able to find their wingers in a lot of isolation in a way that I don't think happens to Gotham very often. I was wondering if you saw something shift in the way they were approaching things, or did it really just come down to missing some 50-50s and not pressing with the right structure?
Honestly, I feel like the second half was a bit of a blur, to be honest. Obviously, I think that maybe we let them switch the ball a little bit too much, and it did come. I think a lot of it did come down to not winning our first and second balls, like those duels that I think we normally pride ourselves on. We didn't win those, which then maybe allowed them to switch the ball quicker and isolate players. And we couldn't maybe shift across to support them quick enough. But for me, a lot of it was a blur. I don't know if you remember much else, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was a blur, like Jess said. We need to win the first and second balls. Um, I think, we need to stop the back line from hitting long balls and keep it to one side. That's something we typically are really good at, but any given team can have a bad game, can have a bad half, but it's what we do next.
Thank you.
And Rowie.
Hi there. Thank you both for taking the time here. I just wanted to ask when it comes to, this second half not being up to club standards, just like, in general, when you're out there in terms of leadership and communication, like how does that fall apart? And I guess what does that tell you about how to prevent it from happening?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it fell apart at all. I think we still communicated. We still fought to the last whistle, even if we were down 3 goals. You could see our subs were coming on with energy. Um, I think we trust every single person on the team and we have each other's backs both on and off the field. So I don't think the leadership or the communication dropped. I think obviously it hurts and we'll take the loss and feel it. But it doesn't drop how we lead or how we communicate with each other.
I appreciate you clarifying. Thank you.
And Mega?
Hi, thank you both for taking the time. I had a question more on the attackers. Kaya Hanks had a great performance, especially in that second half. She was really pushing forward past the defensive line. I was wondering if you had any thoughts on her performances and kind of what you all are doing to approach playing against those faster attackers.
To be honest, I don't really pay, not to sound disrespectful, I don't pay attention to what the opposition are doing. Obviously every team has talented players, but we focus on what we can do and what we can control. Of course, I think every team in this league has fast players, and we're well aware that when we lose the ball in bad positions, we can get hit on the transition. But we solely focus on what we can do and what we know that if we are better on the ball and don't lose the ball in silly positions, then we won't be as open to the counter attack. So I think that we'll continue to focus on what we can do.
And then we'll wrap with Jenna.
Thank you. I actually wanted to ask about one of the bright spots of the game, which was Astaire. I mean, scoring in 3 back-to-back games. She's been on fire lately, and just wondering both of your thoughts on just how she's been able to keep up this form and how she'll hopefully help turn things around against the Spirit in a couple of days.
Yeah, obviously Astaire is very talented. She finds the back of the net for us, but she always also holds up the ball, and does her job defensively. Can't sing her high enough praises. And it's been great the past 3 games to see her in form. I think we can see it in training every day as well. So I'm excited for her. I'm excited to see, what she does the rest of the season.